In this review, we're going to practice graphing linear equations. So the first one was just going to practice graphing points. So this is our x-axis straight across, and this is our y, which is our up and down. X always goes first, and then y. So I'm going to go left 3, up 4, and that's the location of A. Do the same thing for B. Go left 2, but it's -7, so I'm going to go down 7. And I'm going to call that B. And same thing for C. I'm going to go left 5 and down 8 and label that C. Alright, in number 2 we want to know the slope that passes through these 2 points. So in class we taught you to write them on top of each other. And then we're just going to subtract them. So remember, this is our x, this is our y, because it's your change in y. Your slope is your change in y over your change in x. So I'm going to subtract my x's and my y's from each other. 1 minus a -2, if you just throw it in your calculator, is 3. -6 minus a -8 is -6 plus 8, which is 2. Change in y was 2. My change in x was 3. That's your slope. Y always goes on top. In number 3, we're given a graph, and we want to write the equation of the line. The equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. M is our slope, and b is our y-intercept. Your y is your up and down line. Your left and right line is your x-axis. So we're looking for our y-intercept on this line. It crosses right here, so that means your b is 4. And then we just need to find another pretty point, and I'm going to call this one right here a pretty point because it's an integer value. And I find the rise and the run. So the change in y was 1, 2, 3. Change in x was 2. So my slope is 3 over 2, but it's a downwards line. It's a negative slope, so -3 over 2. Now when I write it, I'm replacing my m with -3 over 2, and I'm replacing my b with 4. And that's your equation of the line. Now in number 4, I'm just going to graph this. It's the same setup here. The first thing I'm going to graph is my b, which is -4. So again, I go on my y-axis and graph -4. And then I graph my slope of 2 over 3. So I'm going to go up 2, right 3. I always go to the right, but because it's positive, I'm going up. If it was negative, I would go down. So up 2, right 3. And then that's enough. You just draw your line straight through. In number 5, it's in standard form, which means I'm going to graph the intercepts. So I can cover up the 6y, which means I'm graphing the x-intercept. I'm just going to write 3x equals 12, because when I cover it up, I'm just reading it the way I see it. 3x equals 12. I solve. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 4. This is my x-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the same thing with the 3x. This is -6y equals 12. That's one that's a little easier to read. -6y equals 12. That's your y-intercept. Divide both by -6. I'm just solving that one-step equation, and I get out -2. That's my y-intercept. And then just draw my line. And the last one, find the equation of the line and write in slope-intercept form, the same as 3 and 4, y equals mx plus b. M is going to be your slope, so it's the change in x's and the change in y's. We're adding 1 here. Here, we're actually subtracting 4 to get from -3 to -7. -7 minus 4 is -11, and so forth. So again, your slope is your change in y over your change in x. So -4 over 1, which is just -4. This one's a little easy to find the b. Since this is 1, I'm 1 away from 0. For a y-intercept, my x has to be 0. So I can just figure out what this value is. What value minus 4 is -3? Or opposite, -3 plus 4 would get me what? And that's 1. So this would be your b. Your b would be 1. Now I'm just going to replace my m with -4 and my b with a +1, and that's my equation of the line.